Manchester United waiting on the Delap decision before they can go for Mbeumo, and that is starting to cause Manchester United problems. Is he set to pick Chelsea, as some reports suggest? Is Manchester United in trouble in regards to getting target Bryan Mbeumo? We will get into all the latest news on that. There is talk coming out that Man United may be forced into selling Amad Diallo, but I'm going to be totally honest, I do not believe that we will sell Amad. Amad will be here next season. He's just signed a new deal and part of the project. More reports coming out about Hojlund and the potential move to Italy. Lots of Italian clubs interested in Hojlund, including Inter, Juventus and Napoli. There's Hojlund to Juventus talks going on. Apparently Hojlund's had discussions with them. Apparently Matt Hargreaves has flown out to Italy to discuss Napoli, Hojlund, maybe an Osimhen swap deal. Manchester United thinking, can we do an Osimhen swap deal? Man United might have learned that Delap is going to Chelsea. Are they working on other targets? We will talk about that. Rashford to Barcelona, latest news. May not win his contract. And look, today's the day Bruno's apparently got to make a decision. And considering it's quite quiet, something tells me maybe Bruno will stay. So, hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to your 10-minute Manchester United news roundup, where I'm going to round up all the latest Manchester United news into a 10-minute video for you guys. If you do enjoy today's video, feel free to hit that like button. And of course, if you want to stay up to date on all the latest Manchester United news, updates, and more, feel free to subscribe. So let's talk about Delap, because the decision delay is starting to cause Man United problems. United must resolve the Delap decision to move on in Mbeumo. Interest is strong, but Newcastle lead the race. Newcastle's UCL football and better offer give them an edge. So, Manchester United wants Mbeumo. We know we want Mbeumo, but what they're saying is we can't move for Mbeumo until we've got a decision from Delap. Because if we get a decision from Delap and Delap says yes, we will spend the funds on Delap, which means we can't move from Mbeumo until we sell anyone. So we can't make a move for Mbeumo until we have a decision from Delap. Newcastle ready to make a move from Mbeumo now. Newcastle ready to move quick for Bryan Mbeumo. And they have Champions League football, and they might have the edge because they'll move quicker. They have Champions League football, and Mbeumo's not going to wait all day for Manchester United. So we need kind of Delap to make this decision, because we want to know if we should be going for Mbeumo or not. And we could miss out on Mbeumo, and it's starting to cause problems. Now, some reports suggest that Delap might be close to making a decision, and some reports suggest that could be Chelsea, according to Ben Jacobs. Chelsea are closing in on a move for Liam Delap after positive talks. United's lack of European football has weakened their position. So he's saying that Chelsea are closing in on the move. Now, that nobody else has said that yet. We've had a few journalists this week say that he's edging towards United, and a few journalists this week saying he's edging towards Chelsea. I still think a lot of it is journalist guesswork, but if I was to guess, I think he will choose Chelsea. Some reports are suggesting that Chelsea feel they're winning the race, essentially, because United don't have football. Ben Jacobs has used the word closing in on a move, which suggests that Chelsea have heard back from Delap and are closing in on a move. But I don't know how credible that is. Romano says that United and Chelsea keep insisting for Delap, but Chelsea sees him as a priority target and can offer Champions League football, but they have other targets if the deal fails to materialise. So both Chelsea and Man United for Delap. Romano is not saying that a decision's been made or Delap's leaning towards Chelsea yet, like other sources are suggesting. So it could be one to watch. Now, let's continue into the next story on Mbeumo. So we spoke about Delap taking ages to make a decision could cost us because, well, Newcastle United want Mbeumo. Luke Edwards of The Telegraph, a good source of information, said that Man United remain interested in Mbeumo, but their focus is elsewhere. It's on Delap and Cunha. He's saying that Newcastle are preparing a formal offer for Mbeumo. United have interest, but we've prioritised Cunha. Newcastle can offer UCL football, and if they agree a fee, Newcastle are going to take pole position. Mbeumo is probably open to Newcastle. Newcastle wouldn't be this deep into this Mbeumo interest if Mbeumo wasn't interested, and if they move quick, they could maybe win the Mbeumo race. Which, look, losing out on Delap and Mbeumo in 1 week is bad. Losing out on Delap ain't the end of the world, but losing out on Mbeumo, I think that's exactly who we need, and I'd be gutted. Because I've always wanted to see Mbeumo, right 10, Amad, right wing back. So this was said by Team Talk, and I don't think Team Talk are the best source of information, but they are saying this. Manchester United could be forced to part ways with Amad, with AC Milan among sides chasing an ambitious move for the 22-year-old. Now, I know that nobody's safe this summer, but I still feel like Amad and Lenny Yoro would be untouchable this summer. So basically, Man United, the way I look at it is, considering Sancho, Anthony, Rashford, Garnacho are leaving, I don't think we'd sell Ahmad. Even if Ruben Amorim wanted to sell Ahmad, I don't think we would because of the amount of wingers we've got leaving anyway. He's also just signed a new deal, you know. So look, AC Milan, they're going to sell Rafael Leao. They're going to need a replacement. They would have the funds to potentially bring in an Amad Diallo, and that would be great for them. But realistically, Man United, even if they wanted to sell him, I don't think they would, considering that Sancho, Anthony, Rashford, and Garnacho have to leave the club now. And look, Ahmad's just signed a new deal. I don't think Ahmad's going anywhere. But look, we have financial issues. You know, this time next year, if we have another crap season, we might be in a position where we have to sell Ahmad or Euro to raise some money, and that's sad. But I don't see anything happening this season. I don't see a surprise exit happening for Ahmad this summer. You never know. I just can't see it happening. One exit I can see happening and probably needs to happen is Rasmus Hojlund. Juventus are among the clubs which are monitoring Hojlund. First talks with his agent, which are now at work to move the striker this summer. So Hojlund's agent is having conversations with Juventus. Hojlund's agent is having conversations with Italian clubs. Now look, I don't know for sure what's going to happen with Hojlund this summer. His book value's high, it's difficult to sell. But I think Hojlund returning to Italy is a strong possibility. I think Hojlund's agent has had some conversations with Italian clubs. I think United are open to it. I think Italian clubs are open to moving for Hojlund. He's still rated highly in Italy. But it's a difficult one. Man United, I want Hojlund to go. Hojlund needs to go. Man United need 40 million plus to sell Hojlund. Some at Man United believe Hojlund's got potentials. Other at Man United think we should sell Hojlund. We just got to wait for Italian clubs and see what they'll do. Because interestingly, this has come out of Italy today. Manchester United director Matt Hargreaves met with the Napoli chiefs in Naples. This was over Hojlund. And during talks, Napoli chiefs informed them that they're very open to player cash offer involving Hojlund for Osimhen, but want around 33 million. Now look, Hojlund and 30 million for Osimhen, I'm all for doing. Look, I think, to be honest, Hojlund's worth 40 million. Victor Osimhen's got a 58 million clause. It's one of those where really Hojlund and 25 million should do a deal if we're valuing the players fairly. But I think United would need the cash from Hojlund to then let him go to Napoli as part of this deal because of PSR. So it might have to be one of those where we buy Osimhen and they buy Hojlund, and there's a £33 million difference in the price or something to get around PSR for that. I'm not sure. But this is coming out of Napoli. We'll have to wait and see what other sources say. But look, the problem with Victor Osimhen is his wage demands. Without Champions League football, we can't pay Victor Osimhen's wage demands. So I don't think we're going to do a swap deal involving Hojlund and Osimhen, but with Delap probably likely to choose Chelsea, with limited options out there, United might, and if we lose out on Mbeumo, United might be forced to go, you know what, let's try do something for Victor Osimhen here. The problem is his wages. If he lowers his wage demands, I'm open to it, but I don't want him coming just because he wants to milk us for wages. I want him to want to play for Manchester United, want that ambition. But look, Rasmus Hojlund's agent is in talks with a number of clubs. Napoli, Hojlund, Osimhen swap deal, it could be something to watch. But for me, I think Hojlund goes to Italy. If I was to guess, I think Hojlund is going to Italy on loan with an obligation to buy. One player that I think will leave, and hopefully on a permanent, not on loan, is Marcus Rashford. Deco met with Rashford's agent yesterday morning. Flick has approved the move, and Barcelona will attempt to sign him on loan with an option to buy. Barcelona are happy to do a permanent deal for Luis Diaz as a left wing signing, but when all of a sudden, when it comes to Rashford, they've got no money and they can only do a loan deal despite Rashford taking a wage cut. Barcelona know it's Man United and they're trying it on to see if they can get him on loan so they can have more money to spend elsewhere. We can probably get Barcelona to pay 40 million because they would have to pay 50 million if they wanted Luis Diaz. Romano said in regards to that, there's positive feelings on Marcus Rashford's side after the new meeting with Barcelona. It's in the early stages, but United insist on 40 million. But Marcus Rashford would be insane under Hansi Flick. He suits it so much. And £40 million for a player that's Premier League proven in his prime, it's a very good deal. You look at what Anthony's doing in La Liga, think about what Rashford's going to do in La Liga. It could be different. Going into a story on Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo and his contract, is his future up in the air? What's the situation? Romano gave a little update on it, just saying at the moment there's no concrete talks taking place for Kobbie Mainoo to leave. But the situation has gone quiet. Let's see if bids come in. Kobbie Mainoo's not signed a new deal, but he's not up for sale. There's no talk of him leaving. I think Manchester United's plan for next season is to try and get Kobbie Mainoo's fitness back up to scratch, get him into the best shape possible, and make him part of the long-term plans next season. Last but not least, apparently today is decision day for Bruno Fernandes and Al Hilal, so the news could be one to keep an eye on, one to watch out for, but nothing's really moving yet. Anyway, people, thank you for watching today's video. See you next time. Bye.